Hi everyone, welcome to GCP Exam Ready. This series is based on the Associate Cloud Engineering exam provided by Google Cloud. So far, we've covered all the basics you need to get started. In this video though, we're gonna get some hands-on experience of what creating a virtual machine is like on the Google Cloud console. As I said before, you can create machines in 3 different ways, but for today, we'll be using the console. Let's get started. This is what the console looks like once you've logged in. Previously, I've mentioned that you'll have the navigation bar on the left-hand side, and you'll have details of your project and what APIs are running, etc. Today, we'll be creating a virtual machine. As we've said, virtual machines are a compute engine resource, which means we're going to navigate under Compute, go to Compute Engine, and then we'll go to VM Instances, which stands for Virtual Machine Instances. This takes a while to load. We have no virtual machines to look at, so we'll have to create one. Let's start by that. As we've mentioned before, we need to have specific things to create an instance. First, let's have a specific name. I'm going to call this instance my instance example. We don't want to add a label because we don't have any other instances that we want to differentiate by. So when we're looking at our list of instances, it'll just be this one. A region, we can choose any of these regions and they're divided pretty much by continent, east, west, north and south. And then you can choose a zone, which is a smaller region within your region. It divides the region into A, B, C, and D. So we'll just leave it for now under Iowa. We want to change the zone, so let's try selecting something like US Central C. For the machine type details, we need to specify which CPUs we need, what RAM, etc. Just for the sake of this example, we'll leave it as N1 standard. Actually, let's change it just to show you. We'll have N1 standard, which has 1 CPU. You can have N1 standard 1 with just 1 CPU, N1 standard 2 with 2 CPUs. Obviously, if you increase the CPU, your RAM also increases. Let's go with standard 2. Next, we need to specify a boot disk. For this, we'll just leave it as it is, and this is the default that Google always sets things to. Let's go. For identity and API access, we can specify if this is going to be a service account, or we can allow default access, etc. We've covered service accounts as well. We don't need to change anything. As for firewalls, let's say we want to allow HTTP traffic. As I mentioned in the previous video, you also have management, security, disks, networking, and sole tenancy tabs, where you can navigate even more and you can set more configurations. For today, we won't be using those. Let's go ahead and create, and this takes a few moments to create. Once it does create, or begin to create, you'll see it load under your virtual machine instances list. Once this here turns into a green tick, it means that your instance is up and running. Let's give it a moment. Now that it's done, we can see the details. We've got the name, which is my instance example. We've got the zone, which we've set as US Central C. We've got an internal IP, which we can use when communicating with any other virtual machine inside our network. And we have an external IP, which we can expose to external clients if we need to. We also have an SSH. So you've just seen how easy it is to make a virtual machine instance on Google Cloud Platform. Now I want to show you something interesting. If we go back here to our projects, we only have one project, which is this. But if we go back to the Google Cloud Platform landing page, you can now see that you have one instance running under your resource. It's a type of compute engine. I want to show you something else, which is under I am an admin. This is also a topic that we've covered. Under I am an admin, you can see all the members who have access to this project. Now, all of these are just service accounts which are automatically created. Down here is the student account I'm currently using to do this tutorial. You can see that I have the role of editor and viewer, and you can have a look at what those roles even mean. So if we go to here and we look at editor, you can see who has editor access and who has viewer access, and I should be listed under both of them. There I am. If you want to have a look at further details about these roles, you can click here. Now you can see the entire list of roles that you could be using. We can even filter and look for editor. Now you can see what permissions editor has. You have all these permissions assigned to a role that you can then assign to a user. As we've previously said, on GCP we don't assign permissions to users, we assign permissions to roles and then roles to users. That way you don't have to assign 2,691 permissions to every single person who needs this editor role. Smart, huh? So, this has been GCP Exam Ready, teaching you how to make a virtual machine instance on GCP very simply. If you still don't know any of the details that we've referred to in this video, make sure you check out previous videos that are on virtual machines so that you get the fundamental knowledge before you try this out. Just for reference, I'm using QuickLabs to do this tutorial. You could use it to get some hands-on experience too. This tutorial is based on creating a virtual machine, which is one of the tasks and quests on QuickLab. Make sure you give it a go, I'll link it down below. Best of luck.